Sasuke, you are, because of the position that your brother put you in, you are solely responsible for spreading the seed far and wide of the Uchihas. You have to keep that bloodline going strong. Sasuke, you have to think big, right? Sarada you only got one, you need multiple. Cast your net wide, my boy. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Anime Rainbow back with another episode, and the time is here. The manga has finally dropped. We finally have Sasuke's story, the Uchihas and the Heavenly Stardust. It's been a long time coming. We've heard about this story in the making, and the entirety of this is Sasuke's story, but it's centered around Naruto and his ailment, alright? What we know from the first chapter is that Naruto, he has the same ailment that the Sage of Six Paths had from back in the day, right? He's the reincarnation of him, so it kind of makes sense. What was said was that the Sage of Six Paths found a cure in the land of Rendaku. So that is what Sasuke is here for. That's what he's going to do. That's his mission. He's to journey to the land of Rendaku and see if he can find any information of the cure that the Sage of Six Paths had. This is a Naruto spinoff. It's not a Boruto spinoff, so don't expect to see any, Boruto characters in here. I think it's going to be all OG characters. And what's really interesting about this entire manga is that this falls in the timeline that we know Sasuke was a part from the village, because he wanted to, quote unquote, redeem himself, right? He wanted to make amends. He wanted to have atonement for everything that he did throughout all of Naruto Shippuden and through the 4th grade Shinobi War. So this is one of the reasons why he was a terrible father and was not there in order to help raise Sarada and be a good husband to Sakura. Good to know. So at the very beginning of this entire chapter, you have Naruto. He's gripping his chest. He's asking Sasuke, are you about to go to Rendaku? Are you about to go to Rendaku? Basically saying, don't go. We don't know why, but, Naruto is very against Sasuke in the beginning of this manga. For him going, nonetheless, he still has his Rin and Sharingan. He still has his Rinnegan, so he just teleports out of there and leaves Naruto in the hands of Shikamaru. We find out later in this chapter that it's not just Sasuke who is there, but it's also Kakashi. But considering Kakashi doesn't have his Sharingans, I'm sure he's having to take the long road there. So he might not be there right now or in the next couple of chapters. Or it might be a situation of him being there before Sasuke and Sasuke's playing catch up to this entire situation. So he pulls up in the land of Rendaku and he's asking the villagers there, hey, who's the oldest person that you have here? Because the Sage of Six Paths was incredibly old, so your best bet is to try to gain information from the oldest people that you have there. Maybe an elder of the village, maybe they have a council, who really knows? But that's not the case. He talks to this old lady, this old granny, and he gets nowhere, okay? And we find out from, I guess, the grandson or one of the men in the village that due to the topography and the geography of the land of Rendaku, it's incredibly hard to get there, meaning that they have been isolated for so long, most people don't even know it exists. And if you read the first chapter, you can clearly see that they aren't up to date with some of the most basic aspects of the outside world, right? Very few of them grasp the concepts of ninjutsu and genjutsu, things of that nature, right? So because Sasuke is basically asking a large crowd about the Sage of Six Paths and he got no information, he begins to leave. They mention that he's leaving, and while he's leaving, this girl, her name's Lila, she's following him into this alley. Turns the corner, he's not there, he jumps down and was like, why are you following me? And Lila basically informs Sasuke that, look, you mentioned the Sage of Six Paths. My mom, she runs an antique shop and she has mentioned before the Sage of Six Paths. I don't know much about it, but hey, if you follow me, you go to the antique shop, we can try to ask my mom and see if she knows any additional information. Sasuke agrees, they begin to leave, and as they're walking to the antique shop, you have 3 people who are running the opposite direction. Lila sees her mom, we never find out the mom's name, and she's basically like, look, they stole from the antique shop. Sasuke's like, alright, I'll handle this. And this is where you get to see OG Sasuke. And for some people who are into Boruto, maybe have never read Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, I don't know why not, but it might be the case. They don't know the full badass level of badassery that Sasuke possesses when he's not nerfed to hell. So he teleports instantly, switches places with a pot, knocks out 2 of the robbers. And the third one, he thought he had got away. He manages to grab, I think it was Lila. And it was like, look, you need to relax. And Sasuke was like, you need to look again at your hostage. And come to find out that Sasuke had put a genjutsu on the 3rd robber. We actually never find out his name, but he's going to be important later, so keep him in mind. He's not holding Lila, he's holding a watermelon, and then he begins to sink into the ground. The realization is that he's in a genjutsu, but he himself does not know what a genjutsu is. Again, furthering just how segregated from the outside world this land of Rendaku truly is. But that scene ends, and then the 3 robbers, they get captured. Come to find out that they were already on the way basically to prison, and they had escaped the guards that were passing through that area of the village. Why? these three people who just escaped transportation to prison decided that along the way of their escape route they were going to rob an antique store is beyond me, but that's what they did. Doesn't make much sense. They got recaptured instantly. Had they had just continued along with their plan, they might have been able to escape, but that's neither here nor there. So with them captured, they get on. Sasuke, Lila, the mother, they go to the antique shop, and the mother alludes to the fact that Lila said that you wanted to ask me a question. She was referring to Sasuke. She says, before that, I have a question for you. I need you to marry my daughter. And this Sasuke, you know, good dude, wholesome dude, never one to cheat. It's like, look, I already have a daughter, I have a wife, I can't marry yours. But if we just pause for a second and really analyze this part of the chapter, you gotta think, Sasuke, you are, because of the position that your brother put you in, you are solely responsible for spreading the seed far and wide of the Uchihas. You have to keep that bloodline going strong. One of the many downfalls of Itachi is that he never had a kid when he was out in the Akatsuki, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would imagine he would have dropped a seed off here or there along the way when he was hunting Jinchuriki, but he didn't, at least to the best of our knowledge. Sasuke, you have to think big, right? Sarada has, you only got one, you need multiple. Cast your net wide, my boy. Nonetheless, Sasuke, he is a man of God. He turns down the marriage proposal, and then he asks his question to Lila's mother about, what do you know about the Sage of Six Paths? And her mom pulls out this old book. I believe it's called the Book of Yore, which is just a history book that I guess was, you know, pawned off at her antique shop back in the day, and she liked it, so she never sold it. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know how it came to be, but a lot of people in the land of Rendaku don't know anything about this book and the history. So she's looking into this book for anything that involves the Sage of Six Paths. And if you look at the panels and really look at her facial expressions and read the paneling, you can tell that she knows where she's going in the book. You can tell that she knows where the passage is about the Sage of Six Paths. So when she's flipping through the book and she sees it, she makes a comment and she's like, that's funny that this should be here. Where is it? I'm sure it was right here. And it's alluding to the fact that somebody had came into her shop, took the passage out of the book because she's read it before. She knew exactly where she was going, but now it's not there. So she had mumbled that to herself, and I guess Sasuke overheard, and it was like something, the Tatar Observatory. And Sasuke's like, what did you say about Tatar? And she says the observatory from back in the day. The Sage of Six Paths had to do something at the observatory, and that is alluding to the fact that the cure is there, meaning that this observatory has been in the same spot for hundreds of years, okay? Because if he went to the exact same one, it's unchanging, other than the fact that they may have put some walls up and, you know, they may have done some renovations to the inside. I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of like an underground catacomb bunker type of situation, and they just kept building on top of it and on top of it and on top of it, and there's something going on underground. You already know how prisons go in the Naruto universe. This is probably our third arc that involves a prison. You had the movie with Naruto, you had the prison arc with Boruto, and now we're back in a prison again for Sasuke. So, I mean, you know, something's going on with the warden or the director. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We're going to continue with this chapter review because there's a lot to discuss. So with Sasuke now knowing what he has to do, and he has to go to the Tatar Observatory, I thought he was just going to, you know, pull up, maybe speak to the director, maybe speak to someone in charge, an elder of the village or something. Someone has to be in charge, right? Somebody has to. But maybe not, because how he chooses to get into the prison blows my mind, all right? He manages to infiltrate the prison, and he's not infiltrating the prison like sneaking around. No, he like went undercover as a prisoner. And I'm just thinking, I was like, Sasuke, what did you do to get thrown into prison? Because, like, nothing happens. He goes from the antique shop, and then he's sitting down in the cafeteria at prison, and none of the guards there even question why they have a new inmate. This isn't some maximum security prison where you could possibly not know one or two people. No, the Rendaku village has been stated to be an incredibly remote village that most people don't even know exists. They would have extremely intimate knowledge of every prisoner that they have on staff. And the fact that no guard is like, who is this one-armed guy that we've never seen before? We would definitely have remembered a prisoner with one arm. They don't do that. But this doesn't change the fact he goes to prison, I'm guessing. He went to prison 2 weeks after he had thrown those prisoners into jail. So I'm guessing something happened within those 2 weeks. There's a few time jumps in the first chapter, by the way. The thieves, they see him and they won't smoke. They instantly try to jump this dude. They're throwing forks. They're causing a riot. They're getting people to attack Sasuke left and right. But Sasuke, he's a thug. He's an OG. He doesn't play that shit. So he instantly KOs everybody in the entire cafeteria. The guards see it. They're about to throw this man in solitary confinement, but the warden comes out. The warden, his name is, what's his name? Director Zanzul. So Director Zanzul, he sees everything from start to finish. Why he didn't throw the 3 thieves in solitary for starting the riot, we don't know. Maybe because they're unconscious at the end of the day. But he says he saw everything. Sasuke's not to blame, don't worry about it, but he leaves Sasuke off on a message saying this doesn't mean that you can just simply do as you please, but I like you, you're interesting. So something's going to be going down with Sasuke. You already know that the director is up to no good. They leave them off on that note. They take everybody who's injured to the medical bay to get treatment. And this is where you have the thief, the robber. We still don't know his name. We don't know his name, and it's kind of jarring. He looks like a cross between Jugo or Yahiko, something like that, right? He looks like a cross between those two. But nonetheless, the thief, he pulls up on Sasuke and gives him his proposal saying, look, I know you're a shinobi. I know you know how to use chakra. I can use a little bit of chakra myself. We have the best opportunity of breaking out of this place. Will you break out with me and we can be free? Sasuke says, no, I have something to do. You're on your own. The thief is like, look, I don't know what you have to do. I don't care. I'm leaving regardless. This is our best opportunity to try to escape because there's going to be a lot of fog, right? There's a lot of fog. You have the best opportunity of escaping Mino. Who is Mino? Mino is the not guard dog of the prison, of the observatory, is the guard velociraptor of the facility, okay? Further showing you just how far from traditional civilization the Rendaku land truly is. They still have dinosaurs. They're not familiar with ninjutsu and genjutsu and shinobis as a whole. It kind of makes you wonder how they do combat here, because if they don't use ninjutsu or genjutsu, then Sasuke has an advantage on literally everybody in the prison, everybody in that entire land. Again, like what I said, it's really interesting how they've never had conflict, considering just how underdeveloped they really are. They have to have some form of offensive capability that has stopped them from being invaded this entire time. You would definitely expect the director to have some crazy secondary ability at his disposal, but this might be a situation of scientific ninja tools coming back into play. I really don't want this to be an entire scientific ninja tool manga. They have to have ninjutsu and genjutsu in there to at least some degree. I don't know what else they would use other than scientific ninja tools, or maybe this might be something developmentary that leads to more advanced scientific ninja tools. These might be like the prototypes of what later becomes scientific ninja tools in the Boruto series, in the Boruto franchise, but there's a lot more that is going on that meets the eye. Kind of went off on a ramble there, but yeah. So the thief that was asking to have an escape, yeah, Mino fucked him up. He's in a pool of blood. He's laying there. Everyone was trying to go to work, and here he is just laying down. But I watched For Neverworld's video prior to this, and he brought up a really good point that there really just shouldn't be one Mino, because if you have multiple prisoners running in opposite directions trying to escape, there's really no way that Mino can get to them all unless this thing is extremely fast. I would imagine that if this is a velociraptor, that they have a pack of them somewhere and they'll just release them if shit really does hit the fan. But yeah, there's a lot going on with this prison. I think I've rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. Let me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on, how you think this is going to proceed. What do you think is the secrets of Tatar? Is the cure going to be there? I'm under the impression that the director possibly had snatched the page out of the book, or maybe the thieves had did it. Maybe the thieves have did it. Maybe someone had heard Sasuke speaking about the Sage of Six Paths and they wanted that page out of the book extremely quickly. I don't know when it would have happened, because again, Lila's mother had read that passage before, which means that that page was in the book when she was in possession of it up until a certain point. I'm guessing a month or two, something like that. But it's gone now, and I mean, you already know it's at the prison. But I'm interested to see what actually is going on, what they're doing, and what their plans are. Subscribe if you are brand new. I'll keep the content coming frequently as infrequent as humanly possible, and I'm out.